Hello, dear TET candidates. Welcome back to my Grammar for Success channel. I am Koresh Babu, a retired lecturer in English from Hyderabad. In today's video, I am going to explain the grammar questions given in the 2018 TET question paper. I need hardly say that solving and practicing the previous year's question papers will surely provide you with a great deal of awareness and understanding of the question paper pattern and also the style of posing of the questions. I therefore request all of you to watch this video till the end without skipping it in the middle. I also request all of you to subscribe to my channel and also share this video with your near and dear ones. Thank you so much, and now let's get into the video. 61st question. All the grammar questions will begin from 61st question onwards in your question paper, right? And the 61st question is, choose the linking word that can be used to express contrast. That means he is asking you to choose the contrast expressing linker. Linker means, linking word means, in other words, you can say linkers, okay? Linker, or you can also call it connector, you can also call it conjunction. So conjunction is a traditional name given to this connector or linker, okay? You can call this linking word by any one of these three names, okay? And here he is asking you to choose the contrast expressing conjunction, okay? And now let us see the options given. What are the options given here? So, but, thus, moreover. So here this is so is not a contrast indicating a conjunction, and thus is not a contrast indicating conjunction. Moreover is also not a contrast indicating conjunction. Only this but is a contrast indicating conjunction, okay? Here you must try to understand this question still more elaborately. How? For example, see these conjunctions. Now there are two types of conjunctions: coordinating conjunctions, okay, coordinating conjunctions, and subordinating conjunctions, okay, subordinating conjunctions, okay. Of these coordinating conjunctions, there are four varieties, okay. What is that? Addition indicating conjunctions, okay, addition expressing or indicating, addition indicating. This information will be of great help to you even for your other examinations. Addition indicating conjunctions, okay. What are the addition indicating conjunctions? And is there, okay, and as well as, okay, both and, okay, not only but also, okay. These are the addition indicating conjunctions. And here coming to the next one, contrast indicating conjunctions. Contrast indicating conjunctions, okay. Writing it in a short way. Contrast indicating. What are the contrast indicating conjunctions? Let me say like this, examples, okay. And but is a contrast indicating conjunction. At, okay, still, okay, nevertheless, okay, however. These are the contrast indicating conjunctions. And the third one is there, choice indicating conjunctions. Choice indicating, okay, conjunctions. What are the choice indicating conjunctions? Or, nor, okay, nor, or else, right, otherwise, okay, otherwise, either or, okay, either or, neither, okay, neither nor. These are the choice indicating conjunctions. And I'll write here the fourth one is there, inference indicating conjunctions. Inference means guessing. Inference indicating, okay, conjunctions. What are the inference indicating conjunctions? For and so. These are called inference indicating conjunctions. So please keep these four kinds of these are all coordinating conjunctions. Please keep all these coordinating conjunctions and their kinds also. Okay, addition indicating conjunctions, contrast indicating conjunctions, choice indicating conjunctions, inference indicating conjunction. Tomorrow he might ask you about the choice indicating conjunctions or addition indicating conjunctions or inference indicating. So keep these things in your mind. I am giving additional information from this first question. Okay, so but is what? Here but is there. This but is a contrast indicating conjunction. So here in this way, first one, third one, fourth one are wrong. Only the second one is going to be your answer. Please, you learn the answer in this way. Because if I simply say this is correct and all others are wrong, and that does not make any difference at all. Additional information is very, very important. Okay, here this will be of great help to you for your examinations. And now let's move on to the next question. 62nd question is there. The doctor took off his coat. So this is the question given, and what is the examiner asking you to do? The meaning of the phrasal verb took off is, that means he is asking you to give the meaning of this phrasal verb took off. About this phrasal verb, I have dealt with in my earlier video elaborately. Please watch that earlier video. In that video, I have made it clear that yes, there are two kinds of verbs, ordinary verbs and phrasal verbs. Ordinary verbs give ordinary meaning and phrasal verbs give a different meaning, and that is there. For example, here let me give one example to make you understand this. Take is there. Okay, take, right? Take is there. Take is a small verb, ordinary verb. Take means I take a class for you. Okay, he is taking the book that is on the table. Take the book that is on the table. Take means everybody knows that it's a simple word. But if you say take up, this is a phrasal verb. Take up means occupy. This TV occupies or takes up, the almara takes up a lot of room. Occupies a lot of room. The room is very small. It takes up. Takes up means occupies a lot of room or most of the room. So here take up means occupy. And here take after is there. Take after means to resemble, to be like. That is the meaning. Yes, Sheila takes after her father. That means Sheila is just like her father. Take after means to resemble. And take in is also there. Take in is a phrasal verb. Take in means to understand. And it is very difficult for me to take in the meaning of this passage. Take in, understand. And here, what is that? Take two. Take two is also there. Take two means what? Get addicted to. Mohan, of late, has taken to smoking. He has taken to smoking means he is addicted to smoking. So in this way, this is an ordinary verb and these are the phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs give a different meaning. So here, take is there. Took off. This took off is there. Took off. It took off means what? Now let us see the options and let us try with each and every option and then decide. Okay, it is another style of answering the question. Cleaned, washed, removed, folded. Right? And here you please keep these words in the place of this took off and repeat the sentence. And if you find it meaningful, then you use it. Okay. The doctor cleaned his coat. Will it be okay? The doctor cleaned his coat. No. The doctor washed his coat. Does the doctor wash his coat? No. This is wrong. The doctor removed his coat. Okay, that can be. The doctor folded the coat. The doctor does not fold the coat and all. So here, cleaned, washed, folded don't fit in this in the place of this took off. Okay, only this removed will fit in this in the place of this took off. That means took off means removed. Took off means removed. So here, this is going to be your answer, right? Take off. Take off your shirt. Take off your shoes before you enter the room. Before some offices, there will be a board saying that take off your shoes before you enter the office. Take off means remove your shoes. That means leave your shoes at the door itself. So that is there. So this is what you have learned from this slide. And let us learn the other questions. 63rd question is there. I would like a cup of tea. This sentence expresses, this is the sentence. Okay, I would like a cup of tea. This sentence expresses, now let us see the options. A preference. Preference means, in other words, choice. Okay. An order. No. A compulsion? No. Future of the past? No. It expresses what? Only a preference or choice. What is this sentence expressing? The sentence is expressing a choice or some preference. I would like a cup of coffee. I would like a glass of beer. I would like a glass of apple juice. Whatever you can say. So here it is what? It is indicating your preference, because you want a cup of tea, but I want a cup of coffee. It is my choice, and it is his choice. Preference means choice. So this sentence is expressing some choice or some preference. So always it is, I would like this pattern. I would like to visit the Ramoji Film City. I would like this. Always what happens, indicates a preference. I would like to watch this film. I would like to talk to Sheila. I would like to take the examination. I would like to go home. So all I would like always indicates a preference. Okay. And now let's move on to the next question. Choose the sentence that has a noun clause. Okay, about this noun clause, I have already told you very clearly, very elaborately in my previous video, okay, made on this AP TET question paper. Okay, right. Anyway, here I would like to tell you about this noun clause once again. Please keep this time, at least in your mind, this important matter. Next time I don't deal with it. Okay, noun clauses means what? The clause that functions like a noun. Choose the sentence that has a noun clause. Okay. About this noun clause, I have already told you very clearly in my earlier video. Okay. Anyway, here I would like to talk to you about this noun clause. Clause means what? A group of words that has a subject and also a predicate. Okay. That is what it has a subject, one point, and predicate also. That means it's a simple sentence or a normal sentence. Here you pay attention. Now, he is a doctor. Okay. She is a nurse. Okay. He is a doctor. She is a nurse. Combine these two sentences together. He is a doctor. Very simple. So this is a separate sentence. This is a separate sentence. Now we are joining them together into one single sentence. He is a doctor and she is a nurse. Okay. This is there. So here, earlier this is a sentence. This is a complete sentence. But whenever it is brought into a pattern, so we have joined these two separate statements into a single sentence using this conjunction and. Okay, now it has become one sentence. Then this part is called a clause. Earlier it is called a sentence, but now it is called a clause. This is called a clause. As long as the sentences stand all alone separately, then they are called sentences only. But when they are brought into some pattern, when they are connected by some conjunctions, then they are called clauses. This is a clause, this is a clause. Now, these are no longer sentences. Okay, here clause means you understand that. Clause is nothing but a sentence. But whenever it is brought into some pattern, it becomes a clause. Right, here noun clause is there. Noun clause means what? A clause that functions like a noun. Clause that works like a noun. That is why this is called a noun clause. And let me tell you one important thing. These noun clauses are introduced by two important things. What are they? Relative pronouns. Okay. They are introduced by relative pronouns. What are the relative pronouns? Who, whom, whose, what, which, that. These are the etc. Other things are also there. These are the very important. Who, whom, whose, what, which, that. Okay. And certain conjunctions also. Okay. Introduced by certain subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions also. What are those subordinate conjunctions? Yes. When, where, why, how, if, whether, etc. So such conjunctions, and in this way, the noun clauses are formed or introduced by both by relative pronouns and certain subordinating conjunctions. And noun clauses are always formed with these things only. They always function as a noun. Okay. They always act like a noun. And one more important thing is they always stand as an answer, okay, to the question of what the verb. For example, I don't know. This is the sentence. What her name is. I don't know what her name is. You question the verb with what? I don't know what her name is. This is standing as an answer to this question. I don't know how he has done it. I don't know how he has done it. I don't know where he has gone. So here, where he has gone. So here, I don't know where he has gone. I don't know how he has done it. And here, one more example I would like to give you. I don't know whether he will come today. Here you see, I don't know whether he will come today. So here, all these sentences are standing as an answer to the question of what to this verb. Okay, for this question of what to this verb, they are standing as answers, and all these answers are functioning like a noun, because the answer of what to this verb is always a noun. So here they are, all these are the answers of this what to this verb, and that's why they are all nouns, but it is not in the form of a single word, but it is in the form of a clause, and that's why they are called noun clauses. So now you have learned from this question that noun clauses are formed by two important things: relative pronouns, who, whom, whose, what, which, that, and certain subordinating conjunctions like when, where, why, how, if, whether, etc. And these are there, and they always work as a noun, or they always act as a noun, and they always stand as an answer to the question of what to the verb. They always stand as an answer to the question of what to the verb. If you question the verb with what, you get all of them as answers. Okay, and these answers are in the form of clauses. That's why they are called noun clauses, right? Keep these things in your mind. And now let me give you the options. Let us choose the answer. Options are given. The student that has a noun clause. Choose the sentence that has a noun class. Okay, the student said that he would come the next day. Okay, so here that is there, that is a relative pronoun. The sentence that begins with that is always a noun clause. The book is not mine. No noun, relative pronoun or subordinate conjunction is there in this. Okay, I don't like that book. Here that is not a conjunction. It is only a demonstrative adjective. That book, that dog, that house, that room. So it's a demonstrative adjective. So it is not a noun clause, right? India is a land of many languages. There is also no noun clause. So that is also not there. So in the second one, third one, fourth one, you don't find any noun clause. Only in the first sentence you find a noun clause. And how can you say that it is a noun clause? You are question the verb with what? The student said what? That he would come the next day. This is standing as an answer to this question, and this answer is always a noun clause. Whenever you question the verb with what, you get some answer. That answer is nothing but a noun, and if that noun is in the form of a word, it is only a word. But if it is in the form of a sentence, it is called a noun clause, right? Now let's go to learn about other questions. 65th one, Napoleon, who won the French honor, died at Saint Helena. Okay, that is the question. And now what is the examiner asking you to do? The part of the sentence, who won the French honor, in the sentence above is, what is this? This one, who won the honor, right? Now what is that? Here, let us see the options. A defining relative clause, a non-defining relative clause, a finite clause, a non-finite clause. What is this? Who won the French honor? Okay, but here if you look at this sentence, okay, you find that it is beginning with who. Who is what? A relative pronoun. Okay, relative pronoun. Already just now I have told you about that. Who, whom, whose, what, which, that. These are relative pronouns. So this who is that? The sentence is beginning with who. It's a relative pronoun. A relative pronoun means definitely it must be a relative clause. It is a relative clause, and therefore this must be either a defining relative clause or non-defining relative clause, but it cannot be a finite clause or a non-finite clause. Therefore these two are dropped altogether. They are eliminated. And about the finite clause and non-finite clause also, I have told you very clearly in my previous video. What is a finite clause? Finite clause is that in which the verb shows the tense. Verb shows the tense, whether the sentence is in the present tense or past tense or future tense. Whereas in the non-finite clause, the verb does not show the tense. That means it does not show whether the sentence is in the present tense or past tense or future tense. So these things are eliminated totally, because this is a relative pronoun, and the sentence that begins with the relative pronoun is definitely called a relative clause. But what kind of relative clause is that? Is it a defining relative clause or non-defining relative clause? That we have to see. The competition is only between these two options. Which is the right one? Let us decide. But before we decide that, here you see that, this relative clause is separated by commas. Whenever the relative clause is separated by commas, it's a signal, it's a sign that it is a non-defining relative clause. You must automatically understand that it is a non-defining relative clause. Non-defining means it is not describing or qualifying this Napoleon, this antecedent, whatever may be the antecedent. The word that is immediately behind this relative pronoun is called the antecedent. Here Napoleon is the antecedent. It is not defining this, it is not qualifying this. Even if this part is not there, this will make some sense. Okay, Napoleon died at St. Helena. Clear? This can stand as a sentence, absolute sentence. But here, even whether it is there or not, it does not make any big difference. And that's why this is the quality of the non-defining relative clause. Non-defining relative clause is, whether it is there in the sentence or not, the meaning of the remaining sentence does not get affected. And here you see that if you remove this and you say Napoleon died at St. Helena. Clear? But what are you doing here? You are giving only an additional information, extra information. Extra information. Napoleon, who won the French honor, died at St. Helena. So here, this relative clause is not defining this, and therefore this is called a non-defining relative clause. Therefore, your answer is going to be this one, and this is not a defining relative clause. But so let me give you one example for this defining relative clause. Yeah, then you can automatically understand this. For example, a boy who does not play games. Oh my God, who does not play games will never be healthy. Look at this example. A boy who does not play games will never be healthy. Here, this part is the relative pronoun. How long is this sentence? Up to here. A boy who does not play games will never be healthy. See, if you remove this, the sentence doesn't give any meaning. If I simply say a boy will never be healthy, will it be okay? Or which boy will never be healthy, sir? You say immediately. Because this is qualifying this antecedent, the boy. This is defining this boy. Therefore, without this, this cannot stand. A boy will never be healthy, cannot stand. So, because it is defining this, therefore, it is called a defining relative clause, DRC. One more example I would like to give you here. Mangoes which are overripe should be thrown away. Look at this example. Mangoes which are overripe. Ripe is okay. Overripe means you cannot eat. Should be thrown away. This is the sentence. This is which is a relative pronoun. So the sentence with the relative pronoun is called a relative clause. Relative clause. Okay, this is the relative clause. So this relative clause, whether it is defining or non-defining, means it is a defining one. It is defining these. Mangoes which are overripe should be thrown away. See, always the defining relative clauses, if they are dropped, the sentence, the remaining sentence will not give any meaning. Suppose we have removed this. Now what is the meaning? Mangoes should be thrown away. Mangoes should be thrown away. Why should we throw away mangoes? It's not giving full meaning. And this, if without this, these words cannot give the meaning. And that means, this relative clause is essential to this sentence, and that's why this is called what? A defining relative clause. Any relative clause without which the remaining sentence does not make any sense is always called a defining relative clause. Okay, right. And here you look at, these are the defining relative clause. This is not a defining relative clause. One important point about this is non-defining relative clause is always separated by the commas. Please, in the future examinations, this matter, this additional information might become very useful and helpful to you. That's why I'm giving you all these details. And now let's move on to the next question. So here, sit down a moment. 66th question. Sit down a moment. Sit down a moment. What is this? What is the examiner asking you to do? Choose the correct question tag to complete this sentence. Choose the correct question tag. So what is this sentence beginning with? Sit. It's a base form verb. You know, whenever a sentence begins with a base form verb, it is called an imperative sentence. You know, in the previous class itself, I have told you about this. What are the imperative sentences? The sentences that contain orders, commands, requests, warnings, pieces of advice are called imperative sentences. They always begin with a base form verb. Sometimes with don't, sometimes with please, sometimes with let. So they are the beginnings of these imperative sentences, and for them the question tag will be either will you or would you. Will you or would you? Sit down a moment. Will you? Sit down a moment. Would you? Anything you can say. And now let us see the options. Oh, would you? The very first one is the right one. Shall you is not the correct one. Don't use not the right one. Isn't it is not the right one. So here second, third, fourth are wrong. Only the first one is the right one. And now let's move on to learn about the other questions. 67th one. Jumping on the horse, the farmer rode to the market. That is the question. That is a statement. Of course, in the examination, is a question. What is the examiner asking you to do? The part of the sentence, jumping on the horse, is what? Is what? He is asking you. He has given these options. You have to choose the right one from the options given. Is it a finite clause? Is it a relative clause? This part. Is it a non-finite clause? Is it a non-defining relative clause? What is this one? Know very well. So here, if you observe the options here, it is not a relative clause, because relative clauses will always begin with who, whom, whose, what, which, that. Remember these things, please. Okay, these are the important things. Okay, always they begin with it. Therefore, it is not beginning with the who, whom, whose, what, which, that. So it's not a relative clause. Here also it's not a defining relative clause. Okay, whether it's a relative clause or defining, whatever it is, it's not a relative clause at all. So these two things are outright left, outright gone. Only these two are in the fray, in the competition. So what is the right one here, whether it is a finite clause or non-finite clause? I have already told you about the finite clause, you know, non-finite clause. Okay, in the finite clause there is a verb, it shows the tense. Okay, it shows the tense. But in the non-finite clause there is also a verb, but it doesn't show the tense. In the finite clause, the verb shows the tense. In the non-finite clause, the verb doesn't show the tense. Okay. For example, here you look at this. This is a finite clause. The farmer rode. This verb, no. The farmer rode to the market. This is the verb. So it is showing the tense. What is this? What is the tense of the sentence? Past tense. But here you come to this one. Jumping is there. It's a verb. Okay. What is this verb showing? Is it showing any tense? Jumping. Is jumping, was jumping, will be jumping, present tense or past tense or future tense. Which is jumping is that? So here there is verb, but it is not showing the tense, and that's why this is called the non-finite clause. This is the finite clause because the verb is there, it is showing the tense, and this is the finite clause, but it is not showing the tense. Therefore, this is the non-finite clause, right? So here, jumping on the horse. What is this? It's a non-finite clause. So your answer is going to be, what is the third one? Are you following me? Please. Okay. Now, let's go to the next question. 68th one. Choose the correct yes/no question. About the yes/no questions also, I have told you very clearly in my previous video. Please watch that. Okay. Yes/no questions means what? All the questions that begin with helping verbs are called yes/no questions. Okay. What are the helping verbs? Am, is, are, was, were. Have, has, had. Do, does, did. Shall, should, will, would, can, could, may, might, must. These are all helping verbs. Any question that begins with any one of these helping verbs is called an yes no question. And that these yes no questions, the original name of these yes no questions is verbal questions. Verbal questions or ordinary questions. Okay, these are the other names to these yes no questions. And yes no questions are the questions the answer of which is either yes or no. Here in the previous class also I gave you this example. Are you a doctor? Are you a doctor? If it is okay, you say yes. Suppose I have asked you this question. Are you a doctor? Yes. If you are not a doctor, you say no. That means, see, this is a helping verb. The question is beginning with a helping verb. It's an yes no question. So the answer to these yes no questions will be either yes or no. That is okay, right? And now here he is asking you to find out the correct yes no questions from the options given here. What are the options given here? Let us see that. Don't you like coffee? Don't is there. It is a helping verb. Okay. Do, does, did. Don't you like coffee? Okay, right. Do you likes is there. Do you like much be there, but likes is given, and that's why this is wrong. Does he liked or liked is given, wrong. You does, it is not beginning with a helping verb. That's why it is wrong. So second, third, fourth, these three are wrong. Only the first one, don't you like coffee? The very first one is the yes no question. To this question, your answer will be either yes or not. Don't you like coffee? Yes, I like coffee. No, I don't like it. So whatever the answer you say, yes, no question, right? And now let's move on to the other questions. 69th one. Sindhu finished her project several days. Dash the deadline. Dash the deadline. Here a dash is given, and let us see what to be used in that blank. Okay, and here you pay attention. Choose the correct compound prepositional phrase that fits the context. So he has given you some compound prepositional phrases or phrasal prepositions, you can also call them. Okay, compound prepositional phrase, or you can also call them phrasal prepositions. Okay, anything you can say. Phrasal prepositions, right? And what are the phrasal prepositions? Instead of, ahead of, in spite of. See here, let us use this one and check. Okay, Sindhu finished her project several days instead of the deadline. No, and instead of is ungrammatical. Of is not there. So this second one is also dropped. And fourth one, in spite of. In spite of means despite. So several days despite the deadline or in spite of the deadline. No. So here ahead of is there. This is the right one. Ahead of means before the deadline. So this prepositional phrase will fit in that blank. So your answer is going to be the third one. And now let's move on to the next question. 70th one. If I dash the class teacher, I would not punish that student. So this is the statement or question given here. And what is the examiner asking you to do? Choose the correct verb to complete the meaning. Correct verb we have to use. Okay, what are the options given here? Have, were, have been, am. So I can give the answer directly, and because when that is the case, you observe the other part of the sentence. So this is a conditional sentence. Conditional sentence. Each and every conditional sentence has two parts: if clause part and main clause part. Okay, and here when a blank is given in the if clause part, when there is a blank given here, you observe the main clause part. What is there in the main clause part? Would is there. Would is what? The past time word. Okay, would be the past tense of will. So past tense is there. When here is past tense, there must be some past tense. There must be some past tense. So here have is not past tense, have been is not past tense, am is not past tense. Only one is the past tense. Directly you can say that. Because whenever a conditional sentence is given, you must check it like that, because several times this kind of questions are being given in the examination. Okay, so if the blank is given in the if clause part, you check the main clause part. What is there? Would is there. Would is what? The past tense of will. So there is past tense in the main clause. Whenever there is past tense in the main clause, in the if clause part, there must be past tense, relevant past tense. So here options, if you look at the options, have is present tense, have been is present tense, am is present tense. Therefore, they are all dropped. Only were is the past tense, though that must be used in this. Okay. And here about these conditional sentences, I would like to give you some additional information, and this is for your benefit. Okay. I have already told you that conditional sentences. Okay. Conditional sentences, each and every conditional sentence will have two parts. What is that? If clause part, okay, if clause part, right, and main clause part, main clause part. You take any conditional sentence, you find that. And these, if clause part, main clause part. And you remember, and there are three kinds of conditional sentences. Number one, open conditional sentences. Open conditional sentences. Okay, open conditional sentences. Number two, impossible conditional sentences, right? About this, I made a video. You don't find any time to watch that video. That's why I'm giving the short things here. Okay, shortcut things. Impossible conditional sentences. Okay, here, third one is there, unfulfilled conditional sentences. Unfulfilled conditional sentences. So in this way, there are three types of conditional sentences, and in these three types of conditional sentences, the verb pattern is different. What is that? In the open conditional sentences, in the if clause part, simple present tense must be there. In the open conditional sentence, in the if clause part, so simple present must be there. In the main clause part, shall or will or can or may plus base form verb. So preferably will be there in the main clause. A sentence with shall or will or can or may plus base form verb will be in the main clause. This is the first one. Simple present tense, when there is simple present in the if clause part, in the main clause part, there must be a sentence with shall or will or can or may plus base form verb. Right, that is there. And the impossible conditional sentence, in this, what is that? Simple past tense will be there in the if clause part. And in the main clause part, should, okay, would, right, could, okay, might, plus base form verb, plus base form verb. Okay, in the impossible conditional sentences, in the main clause, in the if clause part, simple past tense will be there, and in the if clause part, simple past tense will be there. In the main clause part, a sentence with should or would or could or might plus base form verb will be there. And here, if there is to be any be form, you must use only were. This is a special thing. If you use should, would, could, might, okay. But if you happen to use the be form, then you must use only were. That is there. And unfulfilled conditional sentence. What is this? Past perfect tense. In the if clause past perfect tense. And in this main clause part, what will be there? Should have, okay, would have, okay, could have, might have, plus PP, past participle verb. See, please follow these things, please. Open conditional sentence, simple, in the if clause part, simple present, and main clause, shall or will or can or may plus base form verb. In the impossible conditional sentences, in the if clause part, simple past will be there. In the main clause part, should, would, could, might plus base form. In the unfulfilled conditional sentences, in the if clause part, past perfect will be there. In the main clause part, should have, would have, could have, might have, plus PP. PP means past participle form of the verb. So this point you have to understand. Whenever this point is in your mind, whatever may be the question he gives on this on the conditional sentences, you can do it very easily. I'm damn sure about that. Now let's move on to the next question. 71st question. Harish wants to be a great wrestler, okay, but he is dash. So here, but, the second part is beginning with but is a bit of poison. So here, but means the succeeding sentence will be definitely opposite to this one. This is a positive statement, and after but there will be a negative statement. So let us see that. Let us fill in the blank. What should we use in this blank? Let us see that. Choose the correct phrase to fill in the blank in the sentence above. What is the correct phrase? Let us choose strong enough. No, will you say, but he is strong enough? He wants to be a wrestler, but he is strong enough? No. He is not strong enough? Yes. He is not enough strong? No. He is enough strong? No. Here, what is that? Here, in all these words, you find commonly the word enough. Okay. About this enough also, I have told you very clearly in my previous video. Please try to watch it. Only a few of you have watched it. Please, okay, enough. Enough functions in two ways. It is an adjective or it is also an adverb. Okay, it is an adjective as well as an adverb. If it is an adjective, it is used with a noun. For example, enough water, enough time, enough water, enough time, enough. If it is an adverb, it is used with adjectives, okay, but after the adjective, okay, after the adjective. This is the pattern. Enough is used as an adjective as well as an adverb. If it is an adjective, it is used with nouns. So then this enough is used before the nouns only. Okay, this clear. And enough, when enough is used as an adverb, it is used only after the adjective. Strong enough, this is like this. But here the sentence is indicating the negative and therefore this is the right one, not this one. Okay, not strong enough. Enough strong is given. Now this is an adjective and before this enough is used. Okay, he is clever enough. She is beautiful enough. Don't say she is enough beautiful, because enough is always used after the adjectives but not before the adjectives. This is right because after this but there must be a negative phrase or negative statement. So negative word is here and therefore not strong enough. He wants to be a great wrestler but he is not strong enough. So the second one is going to be your answer. And please, about this enough, please keep this point in your mind. And now let's move on to the next question. 72nd one. I arrived at the station, then the bus came in. I arrived at the station, the bus came in. Right. And how to join these two statements together? What is the examiner asking you to do? The meaning of these two statements can be expressed as, the meaning of these two statements to be expressed is how? Like this. Okay. No sooner had I arrived at the station than the bus came in. This the very first one is the right one. No sooner had I arrived at the station than the bus came in. That means as soon as I arrived at the station, the bus came in. I arrived at the station, the bus came in. So this is the meaning. This is the very first one is the right one. Before I arrived at the station, the bus came in. Oh, is it that thing? No. Before I arrived at the station, the bus came in? No. No. As soon as the bus came in, I arrived at the station? No. All buses came in when I arrived at, no. Second, third, fourth are wrong. Only the first one is your answer. Right. And now let's move on to the next slide. 73rd one. Choose the word that cannot be used to write an adverbial clause of reason. Since, as, because, when. So here, what are the adverbial clauses of reason indicating conjunctions means? Since, okay, because, okay, as. These three are the adverbial clause of reason indicating conjunctions. So here, therefore, this is right, this is right, this is right. And so that's why he is asking, cannot be used. This can be used as an adverbial clause of reason. This can be used, but this cannot be used. Therefore, this fourth one is your answer. And now let's move on to the next question. 74th one. Choose the correct expression, the correct order of adjectives. Again, about this question also, I have dealt with very clearly and elaborately in my previous video, and I don't want to teach you again and again. Okay. Here, a silk nice saree, wrong. A nice silk saree, right. A saree nice silk, wrong. A silk saree nice, wrong. So this is only the nice silk saree. You don't say silk nice saree. Why? I have already told you about this. To keep these what is that adjectives in an order, you must follow this osas comp. Osas comp. Okay, this must be the order of the adjectives you have to use. You have to use the adjectives in this order. Opinion indicating adjective, then size indicating adjective, then age indicating adjective, then shape indicating adjective, then color indicating adjective, origin indicating adjective, material indicating adjective, purpose indicating adjective. So the adjectives must be arranged in this order. Here, nice, opinion indicating, nice is your opinion about the saree is nice. It is used first. Then material indicating. So next thing. That's why a nice silk saree is therefore right. I have prepared this mnemonic. Please follow this mnemonic and write the adjectives in this order only. Right? A nice silk saree. This is the right one. Second one is your answer. Right. Now let's move on to the next question. 75th one. Do you know Mrs. Geeta? Then B says, yes, I do. I dash know her for nearly 4 years. So this is the blank. And what should we use in this blank? Let us look at the options given. Choose the correct verb phrase that fits the context. What is the verb phrase? Know, wrong. Do know, wrong. Have not known, wrong. Have known is right. Because, do you know Mrs. Geeta? S. S means here the statement must be positive. Okay. Have not known, therefore should not be used. And you have to use have known. I have known her for nearly 4 years. Period of time is there, and that's why you have to use present perfect tense, have known. So yes, I do. I have known her for nearly 4 years. When there is a period of time, you must use only present perfect tense, right? Okay, this is fourth one is your answer. And now let's move on to the next question. Swimming is good for health. Okay, swimming is good for health, right? And what is the examiner asking you to do? In the above sentence, swimming is what? Is asking you to tell about the word swimming. What is this swimming? A past participle? No. Present participle? No. Gerund? Yes. Helping verb? Yeah. No. So first one, second one, fourth one are wrong, and only the third one is the right one. Why? Because swimming is in fact is a verb, no doubt about that. Okay, but here this swimming is acting like a noun. Swimming is a verb. Swimming is also a verb, but here in this sentence it is acting as a noun. How can you say it is a noun? See, you question the verb with what? What is good for health? When you question the verb with what, always you get the answer. That answer is always a noun. Then you see, what is good for health? Swimming. So here swimming is the answer to this question. And this answer to this question is always a noun. So here swimming is a noun, but it is in the form of a verb. And therefore this noun in the form of a verb is always called a gerund. Okay. Noun in the form of an ing form verb is always called a gerund. Okay. And that's why this gerund is the right one. Third one is your answer. And now let's move on to learn about other questions. Choose the sentence that is not in the present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. The sentence that is not in the present, not. What are the features of present perfect? So, have or has plus past participle form, PP verb, past participle. These two are the features of present perfect tense. Okay, and now let us see that here. I have already been here for 5 days. I have is there, been is there, have plus PP, be being been. So this is there is present perfect in this. She has just completed. Helping verb is there, main verb has is there, PP is there. Okay, present perfect tense is there. You have never met. Have is there, met is there, present perfect. So in all these three sentences you find present perfect, but in the fourth one there is no present perfect. Only have is there, but no main verb. PP verb is not there. In all other things, been is a PP verb. Completed. PP means past participle form verb. That is the fourth form of the verb. Okay. Present tense form, present participle form, past tense form, past participle form. These are the forms of a verb. So the last form of the verb is always called the past participle form of the verb. And here been is the past participle. Be, being, been. Okay. Complete, completing, completed, completed. Meet, meeting, met. Fourth forms. But in this, no verb is there, only have is there. That's why in this sentence, there is no present perfect. So your answer is going to be the fourth one. Right. And now let's move on to the next question. 78th one. The weaver said, Ramya, do you want to buy it? That's the question. Now let us see the options. What is the examiner asking you to do? Choose the reported speech of this sentence. Reported speech means you have to change this direct speech into the reported speech. Reported speech means indirect speech. That's the meaning. Right. And what are the options given here? The weaver told Ramya that he wanted to buy it. Okay. So here when there is an ordinary question in the direct speech. Direct speech means whatever the matter is put in the inverted commas is called the direct speech. What is there in the direct speech? Do you want to buy it? That means it's an ordinary question. Whenever there is an ordinary question in the direct speech, you must change this said into asked. You must change the rules are there. You must change the reporting verb into. This is called the reporting verb. The reporting verb should be changed into asked, and between the reporting verb and the direct speech, this is the direct speech, this is reporting verb. So between these two things, you must use the conjunctions if or whether. If or whether. Told, not correct. Already, when you say told, that itself is wrong. Told, again wrong. Asked is there. Asked means asked afterwards. If or whether should be used. Ramya wanted to buy. That's right. Asked is there, but what is used? When you change ordinary question into indirect speech, you don't use what? You use only if or whether. So third one is the right one, and not your answer is going to be the third one. The viewer asked if Ramya wanted to buy it. Right. And now let's go to the next questions. 79th one. He arrived at the station by dash car. What should we use in this blank? What is the examiner asking you to do? Choose the article that fits the context. Article. He's asking you to fill in the blank with an article. A and the. No article is used. So do you say by a car? No. By an car? No. By the car? No. No article is needed, because just a few days ago, I made a video on the prepositions of travel, but only a few of could watch it. It's a wonderful video. I have made all wonderful videos. Most of you have not watched that video. They have just put it aside. Only 30-40 students have watched it so far. I'm not, you can say, blaming you, because it is up to you. Whether you watch it or not is up to you. But the thing is, in that I have made it clear. What is that? Before, when you use this by plus the vehicle, okay, mode of transport. Okay, what's it? When you use the mode of transport, you must not, between this by and mode of transport, you should not use any article. There is a rule. You cannot say by the car, no. By the bus, no. By the train, no. Okay, you should say only by bus, by train, by car, by truck, by plane, by ship. So that's why no article is needed. So therefore, fourth one is going to be an answer. And then the 80th one is there. He feels as if he were a prime minister. As if. Okay, as if means as though. It's a conjunction. And what is the examiner asking you to do? A simple sentence? No. Compound sentence? No. Complex sentence? Yes. Compound complex sentence? No. See here, how to decide it? Okay. And you know very well, in the previous class also I made it clear about the compound and complex sentences. So we have two kinds of conjunctions. Okay, conjunctions, coordinating conjunctions, and subordinating, and these conjunctions make a compound sentence, and these conjunctions make complex sentence. I have given a list of these coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions in the previous video, okay, uploaded 3 days ago, right? And here, when there are no conjunctions at all, that is called a simple sentence. If there are coordinating conjunctions, you must think it is a compound sentence. If there is a subordinating conjunction, you must think it is a complex sentence. But here, as if is there, it's a subordinating conjunction, and therefore this sentence is called a complex sentence. And therefore this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and only the second one. Third one is going to be your answer, right? And now let's move on to the next questions. 81 to 83. Read the following passage and choose the correct answers to the questions given after. So in the examination, you will be given a small passage, easy to understand passage, and after reading that passage, you are expected to answer the questions given thereunder. Okay, and but before we go to answer the questions, let me read this passage for you. What is this small passage? Okay, this is that small passage. Very briefly, I would like to give you the meaning of this passage. And here, the greatest thing this ager can be proud of is the birth of man in the consciousness of men. So here, the greatest thing this ager means what? Aging person, ever growing person. Man will be growing and growing and growing. Okay, here he is growing, the man. Here you can say not only this ager, any man you can say for that purpose. Okay, as the greatest thing that a man can be proud of. we can be proud of what? The birth of man. Okay, birth of man is really a proud moment. Being born into this world as a man is a great thing. And in the consciousness of man, that too having the understanding of the human beings, being born into this world, having the understanding of this of the human beings is really great. So here then we are proud of that. Okay, and one point is that in this drunken orgies of power and national pride, man may flout and jeer at it. So what is happening, being in the drunken indulgence. Drunken means intoxicating, indulgences means indulgence, orgies means indulgences or extravagances, extras. So being in the intoxicating indulgences of power and national pride, okay, what is happening? Man is flouting or jeering at this concept. What is that concept? Man is born into this world having the understanding of the human beings. So he is flouting at it or jeering at it, right? When organized national selfishness, national selfishness means the some people of the country, country will be proud of their country, and they think, this is our country and no other should come and stay in this country. So some kind of selfishness will be there. This is our country, this is a great country, our country is great and culture is great, something like that. So some kind of feeling is there. That's called national selfishness. And racial antipathy. Antipathy means dislike or hatred. Racial means, very well, pertaining to races, okay, black race, white race, something like that. Commercial self-seeking means self-interest, okay, self-centeredness. Okay, so when these national selfishness, racial antipathy and commercial self-seeking begin to open up, okay, the ugly deformities in their nakedness. Ugly deformity means awkward imperfections or marks or blurs in their original state. Then what happens? Then comes the time for man. Then man starts thinking, and he knows that his salvation is not possible in political organizations, extended trade relations, and mechanical rearrangement of social system, but only through deeper transformation of life. Only if you can change your life from bad to good, then only you can get this salvation. Salvation means deliverance. Salvation means redemption. Okay, right. And in the liberation of consciousness in love, in the freedom of awareness of in love, and in the realization of God in man. That means only through transformation of life, only through liberation of consciousness in love, only through realization. The realization means attainment of God in man. God in man means possessing divine qualities, possessing godly qualities. Okay, only through these three things only man can change himself and he can get salvation. So in this way, this passage is all about salvation and is some kind of spiritual passage, it seems. Okay, now let's move on to the questions. Okay, 81st question. In this passage, the phrase God in man implies, God in man means what? I have already told you, God in man means having or possessing good qualities or divine qualities or godly qualities in man. That is all the meaning. So let us check the answer. God having assumed the shape of man? No. Neither fully godly nor fully human? No. Man being transformed into God? No. The divine qualities in man. The divine qualities, the good qualities, the noble qualities, the godly qualities in man are called God in man. That meaning you have to take from that. Okay, now let's move on to the next question. The author uses the expression ugly deformities to show his indignation at ugly deform. What are the ugly deformities? Okay, political organizations? No. Liberation of human consciousness? No. Selfishness? Okay. Materialism? These are only the ugly deformities. We are showing our selfishness. We are showing our materialism, materialistic feelings. Okay. That means, only selfishness is guiding us even today all over the world. If you touch any people, they say they always think for their own benefit. They are selfish, egoistic, right? And the drunken orgies of power. Now, only the third one is the right one here. Here is the fourth one is the right one. Now, let's move on to the next questions. 83rd one. According to the author, salvation of human beings lies in the salvation means redemption, deliverance, freedom, whatever you can say. How can you get the salvation? Salvation means here the options: extended trade relations? No. Spiritual transformation of life? That's good. Transformation of life. You must change your life from bad to good. You must change. from being from having bad qualities into having good qualities. That is a transformation, change. Transformation means change. Orgy of national pride? No. Wholehearted parts? No. So only the second one, spiritual transformation of life. Salvation of human beings lies only in the spiritual transformation of life. It lies only in this, right? And you go to the next one. Choose the synonym of serenity. Synonym of serenity. Serenity, it is a noun, okay? It's an abstract noun. Okay, and let us see the options. Calmness, murmur, dragging, earnest. See, see, the meaning of a word must be in that word only. For example, this is a noun, and the meaning of this noun must be only noun, not in adjective or not in verb, not in other words, right? And here, serenity, noun. Calm. If you look at this, calmness is a noun, murmur is a verb, dragging is a verb, earnest is an adjective. So the meaning of a noun cannot be in these things, in a verb, so from like that also you have to delete the unnecessary words, okay, right? Here serenity is a noun and the meaning of this must be in the noun only. So of these four choices, options, second, third, fourth are not nouns at all. These two are noun, verbs, these two are verbs, and this is an adjective. So they are dropped, and automatically this calmness is nothing but the meaning of this serenity. Serenity means calmness. All right, and now let's move on to the next question. 85th one. Middle English was the result of, okay, Middle English was the result of what? Here, Norman invasion is the right one. Invasion or conquest, okay, you can say that. Modern English, no. Renaissance movement, no. Language of governance, no. Middle English was the result of Norman invasion. You know what is that? Middle English is in short called ME. This ME, this is what Middle English is a form of language, okay, is a form of English language, okay, language spoken, okay, spoken after the conquest, Norman conquest. Let me say Norman conquest in 1066. That means 1066 until late 15th century. Until late 15th, until late 15th century. That means 1066 means 11th century. 11th century to 15th century, this Middle English was spoken. Middle English was spoken. And you know how this Middle English was developed means, you know very well, English belongs to the Indo-European language family. Indo-European language family. So from the Indo-European, and first there used to be Germanic. Germanic developed into West Germanic. West Germanic. And this West Germanic language developed into North Sea Germanic. North Sea Germanic into Anglo-Frisian. From Anglo-Frisian to Anglic. From Anglic to Middle English. So these are the stages of the development of this English language. Middle English was developed first from Germanic, Germanic to West Germanic, West Germanic to North Sea Germanic, North Sea Germanic to Anglo-Frisian, Frisian, and then Anglic. From the Anglic, Middle English was developed. So these are the stages of the development of the Middle English. Okay, anyway, so I'm giving additional information about this Middle English. This Middle English was spoken after the Northern conquest in 1066 until late 15th century. That means 11th century to 15th century, this Middle English was spoken. Afterwards, this Middle English was turned into modern English. It developed into modern English, right? And now let's move on to the next question. 86th one. A major factor that led to the growth of English language. Major factor that led to the growth of English language in the 20th century. What is that? Options. The British invasion? No. English phonology? No. Johnson's dictionary? No, the two world wars, because during the two world wars, first world war 1914 to 1918, and second world war somewhere between 1938 to 1946 or something like that. And during this time, what happened? All the countries in the world were divided into groups, and during that period, what happened? English was spread to other countries. People started speaking English, because in order to know each other and one another, they were forced to learn English, and in that way the English language was grown to a larger extent in the 20th century, and that's why the two world wars is the answer. This is the fourth one is the answer. And now let's move on to the next question. 87th one. The following is not true regarding a language. Regarding a language, one of them is not true. What is that? Language transmits culture. True. Language is extendable. True. Extendable. This is less common. Actually, it should be like this. Extendable. Able is correct, not ibul. Ibul is less common. This is more common, right? Whatever it is in the examination, it is given like this only. So please go. But it is what is that? It is true about this language. Language is creative. Yes, true. But a language does not change forever. This is not true. So he's asking you to choose the not true one. So language does not change forever. This is not true. Therefore, your answer is going to be the fourth one, right? And the 88th one, the old English form of house is, what is the old English form of house? Let us see the option. House, wrong. House, wrong. Whose, right. Whose, wrong. So generally, house. Okay, sorry. Let me write it. House. This is the phonetic transcription. House. Don't say house, not Z. So, if it is a verb, you say it's a verb. It's a noun. House is a noun. House is a verb. P is housed in his heart. If it is a verb, the phonetic transcription is like that. House, verb. House, noun. So here this is a phonetic transcription, and here in those days this should be whose. The oo. So whose. Okay. This is also O is there. Whose. This is not correct. This is there. So here third one is going to be wrong. In the old English form, house is written in this way. Whose. They never said house, but they said whose. I'm going by whose. Right, and now let's move on to the last round of questions. 89th one. NCERT was established in options. 1952, wrong. 1961, right. 1947, wrong. 2001, wrong. Okay, 1961, direct question, no problem, need not explain anything. The following is not an objective of English at the primary level. It's not an objective of the teaching of English language. Okay, what is that? To make learning an enjoyable activity, it is an objective. To help learners recite rhymes and poems, it is an objective. To familiarize people with the spoken and written forms of English, it is an objective. These three are the objectives of teaching English, whereas the fourth one, to send people abroad, is not the objective of teaching English. The objective of teaching English is not this. You don't want to send your students abroad. So sending people abroad is not the objective of teaching English. So your answer is going to be fourth one. So with this video comes to an end. Hello, dear TET candidates. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you find this video any more useful and helpful, then subscribe to my channel and share this video with your near and dear ones. And if you find any difficulty in understanding this video, please mention it in the comment section. And if at all you have any problem, I am ready to explain everything, even through your comment section also, right? And with another beautiful video, I shall be back to you. Until then, bye, see you, all of you. Okay, right.